How you doing, guys? Big Mac Dance School here today, back once again with another Conquest tutorial mission for you. It's time for tutorial replay mission 12.
Imperial Fists Death Guard. Seize the ammunition.
Conquest tutorial replay mission 12. What is the mission called? It's called Seize the Ammunition, of course. It's an objective-based mission, and with this objective-based mission, rather than being the first to get on the objective and stay there for a turn, and rather than being an objective that you can move back to your deployment zone or anything like that, like the previous missions we've played with objectives, this particular objective mission is more similar to what you'd expect in a full-scale game of 40k. You have more miniatures within 3 inches of the objective by a certain battle round, a final battle round in this case, 5 battle rounds. So yeah, the whole idea is you get all your miniatures to that particular objective by the end of the battle. Yeah, I played through this mission once already. I had loads of fun. I just wanted to have because it's been a couple of weeks since I've filmed one of these, I just wanted to have a quick run through of the mission. Had loads of fun playing it the first time, so I'm ready and raring to play it again. The sides this time. Oh, another thing to mention before I go into detail about the sides, I can do them both together. We've got data sheets now for the first time. We've got these data sheets. These data sheets, again, similar to the objective, they represent more what you'd expect in a full game of 40k. So we've got Plague Marines, we've got Poxwalkers, we've got an Intercessor Squad, a Reaver Squad, and a Lieutenant Gideon. I don't know why it says Calcius on the sheet. His name's Gideon. So yeah, we have these 5 data sheets ready to go. The Plague Marines, we're going to be taking 5 Plague Marines in the squad, and we're going to be taking 12 Poxwalkers. The Reavers and Intercessor squads both have 3 Marines in each of them, and the weapons profiles on these data sheets are the full profiles now. So there's new things for us, like the plasma gun. You can fire it as a standard weapon or a supercharged weapon. Now, you fire it as a standard weapon, there's no risk to the bearer firing it. So if, for example, your opponent's within rapid fire range of you, with 12 inches or closer, then you can fire 2 shots at strength 7, minus 3 AP, and they only do 1 damage, but you're firing 2 shots, so you're likely to kill even a Primaris Marine there. But if you wanted to supercharge it, take that extra little risk and maybe take out 2 Primaris Marines with 1 round of shooting, it's going to be rapid fire 1, so again you're getting 2 shots if they're within rapid fire range, and the strength 8, minus 3 AP again, but 2 damage. But on a roll of 1, the bearer is slain and removed from the battlefield. Because the guy with the plasma gun is your squad leader, I'm reluctant to do that. So we'll see how I go. If I get desperate, I might end up doing that at some stage, but I'm hoping I won't get desperate. Let me know in the comments below. We're about to kick off into this mission. Do you think it's going to be a Death Guard victory this time, or one for the Imperial Fists? So guys, you can see in front of you the 2 forces on either side of the battlefield. We've got the Fists over here. They've got a Lieutenant Gideon, a squad of Reavers and a squad of Intercessors. Over on the Death Guard side, they've got a squad of 12 Poxwalkers and a squad of 5 Plague Marines. It's squads of 3 over on the Imperial Fist side still. But yes, these are the 2 forces, and I'll roll to see who's going to deploy first now, shall I suppose? We've also got the data sheets at the back, so these are the first lot of data sheets we get. The green dice represents the Death Guard, as always, and the white dice, the Imperial Fists. And this is for deployment. We've got the Imperial Fists will deploy first. So there we have deployment. The order I deployed them in, the Imperial Fist deployed the Intercessors first over on this corner. The Poxwalkers then deployed down here behind the container, trying to stay as covered as possible. And the Imperial Fist then deployed the Reavers down here to try and get to these Poxwalkers and prevent them getting anywhere near the objective if they can. Because if they can do that, then that's 12 Poxwalkers that could really easily just overpower, outnumber the Imperial Fists, and take control of that objective. And if they can do it in the last couple of turns, then it's going to be hard to thin those numbers down. And then the Plague Marines went here. I think the thinking with them is just try and keep them behind a little bit of cover. And the lieutenant, I was going to say the sergeant, the lieutenant, he's deployed on the final deployment spot. He's probably going to help the Reavers and try and take out these guys, but with him being in the middle, he can just stay in cover, stay hidden, and maybe charge the Plague Marines and try and take some of them out with his power sword, because it's got a -3 on the power sword, of course, so the saving throw will be negated massively. They'll get a 6-up save, and then a 5-up disgusting resilient if you manage to get successful hits and wounds against them. So yeah, let's roll off to see who's taking the first turn. You'll note as well I've moved my turn counter to the dice tray rather than here, because that's where it normally goes. However, that's where the objective marker is for this game, this mission. It's a 6 and a 6. It's a draw. And it's a 5 for the Imperial Fist, so the Imperial Fist will get to choose who goes first. I'm thinking the Fist will probably go first, on the basis that they'll try and get some shots away at those Plague Marines. And yeah, I think the Fist will take the first turn. I'll come back after movement. So after Imperial Fist movement phase in turn 1, the Gideon moved from the central marker there to up there. He advanced, so we won't be able to shoot or anything. Just hidden behind that container. And the Intercessors moved to here. They're slightly obscured by the container from the point of view of the Plague Marines, so they'll get cover, unless of course the Plague Marines move, which they will do. But yeah, they'll get cover from where the models are sat at the minute. And then the Reavers moved here. I thought, should I advance with them? And then I measured it out, and they can actually get a charge off here if they roll around 10 inches. It's around a 10-inch charge. I'll measure that properly before. In fact, I will measure that properly now. Let's just see if... Yeah, it's going to be 9 inches. We'll get them just within 1 inch. Or will it? No, it's going to be a 10-inch charge, even though I've just moved that first one there. So, I'll roll now. Oh no, I won't roll now, because it's the shooting phase first. So, I'll roll for some shooting. These guys are all going to get rapid fire shots into these guys, because it's a 30-inch weapon, the bolt rifle, and yeah, they get half range. They get 2 shots, so it's going to be 6 shots, and they're going to be hitting on 3s. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, just 1 miss. They're going to be wounding on 3s. No 4s, no 5s. They're going to be wounded on 5s. You can tell it's been a little while since I've played. They're going to be wounding the Plague Marines on 5s. And it's rerolls of 1, but no 1 rolls. But there are 3 wounds there. And that's -1 on the saving throw as well. So it's 4-up saves for the Plague Marines. I need to grab myself some green dice from over yonder. 4-up saves. 1 failed, but he gets a disgustingly resilient. 5-up, nope, that's failed. So there is a dead Plague Marine in the first turn. The first blood goes to the Imperial Fists. So which one shall I remove? One of the bolt gun guys, I guess. Might as well take this guy out. And then it's going to be the charge roll. We want a 10-inch charge roll from these guys. They can draw a line of sight there if they wanted to shoot. Let's see if they can draw a line of sight. Yeah, they can draw a line of sight to a Plague Marine. However, they are too far away, those Plague Marines. Or no, they're not quite too far away. They are just within 12 inches. Sorry, I'm just pointing you away at the other side of the room. So they are just within 12 inches of the front guy. So I'm going to just take a pot shot over there at those Plague Marines with a heavy bolt pistol. It's going to be hitting on 3s. It's going to be wounding on 5s. Wounds. It's going to be it's -1 AP again, so it's going to be a 4-up save. Fails the save. Disgustingly resilient. Fails that as well. So that is another. However, thinking about it, what did I roll to save then? Because he is obscured. He is obscured anyway. So what did I roll to save then? I'll have to go back and check what I rolled to save, because if it was a 3, because he's obscured, it'll give him a +1 to a saving throw, so that -1 will be negated. So I'll check and I'll come back to you. Having gone back and checked, this guy being obscured would have given him the +1 to his saving throw, and he is. I did roll a 3, so it's classed as a save, that, because he gets a +1 to his saving throw, so it means he rolled a 4 in fact, and it's a -1 to the saving throw there, meaning basically it's negated, so it's like he gets a 3-up save anyway. So he saves. So there's not another dead Plague Marine, thankfully, for the Death Guard this early on in the game. However, the charge is going to come now from the Reavers. They need a 10-inch charge. Let's see if they can do it. Nope, it's 3 inches. That's not quite 10 inches, is it? So it's on to Death Guard turn 1 now. Let's see. I'll come back after movement. So coming back after Death Guard movement, you can see the Plague Marines have moved from the central bit there over here. They're just getting a little bit of cover there. Although I don't know if the barrels are counted as cover. I'm going to play them as if they're cover. In Kill Team they'd be cover, I know that, but in this game it says the containers give you cover on the latest rules we've had prior to this mission. So I'm going to play it as if the barrels and containers give you a 1+ to your cover save as long as they obscure the entire unit, in the same way that the containers do. And the Poxwalkers are still, they're just bunched up a little bit further behind this container here to try and stay in cover a little turn longer if they can. I could have advanced them up the battlefield, but they would have just been shredded to pieces, I think, by the shots from the Imperial Fists, more than likely. So now these Plague Marines are going to shoot into this unit here. I will measure distance, but I'm pretty certain they're within 12 inches, so any rapid fire weapons can fire rapidly. Yes, they are all within 12 inches. So I will shoot first with the Blight Launchers. The Marines are just obscured, I'd say. Yeah, you see, the front one is obscured by the container, and then the one behind him is obscured by that one. So I'd say they're all obscured by the container because they're all obscuring each other. That was why I basically placed them the way I did, because the front one is obscured by the container, the one behind is obscured by that one. So in my head, that means they're all obscured, partially obscured by the container. Now, if I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments below, because that's the way that makes most sense to me in my head. But let me know, like I said, if I'm wrong, and I'll correct my play in future tutorial missions and bat reps to come. But Blight Launchers, like I said, it's going to be 4 shots into the intercessors, and they are going to be hitting on 3s. Oh my word, that's terrible rolling. And that's 1 hit. They're going to be wounding on 3s also. They're strength 6. That wounds, thankfully. They would have re-rolled 1s if they had failed to wound. But yeah, so that wounds. And then it's going to be a 5-up save, because it's a -2 AP, 5-up save. Although it will be a 4-up save rather, because of the container. So it'll be a 4-up save for the intercessor. Fails it anyway. And the damage on the Blight Launcher, I believe, is D3. Yes, it's D3 damage, so it could be a dead intercessor here. Nope, it's a wounded intercessor. I'll just plonk a wound marker on one of these guys, just the black guy, I suppose. And now it's onto the... I'll go with the bolt gun next. And it's going to be 2 shots. We're hitting on 3s. Ooh, 1 miss again. It's going to be wounding on 4s. Fails to wound. Then it's onto the plasma gun. The plasma gun, no need to supercharge it. I'm going to be hitting on 3s. Could supercharge it. No, not going to supercharge it. I don't want a dead Plague Marine again. Hitting on 3s. And it's going to be wounding on 3s as well. 1 wound. And would be a 6-up save because it's a -3 AP, but it's going to be a 5-up save because of the container. Saved it anyway. Oh, that's bad news for the Plague Marines. So they didn't manage to take out an intercessor like they'd hoped in that first turn. They could attempt to charge here. Would they want to? It's unlikely they'd want to, although that Power Fist can shred through Marines like nobody's business. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for a charge here with the Plague Marines. So, first off, we need to fire Overwatch with the Intercessors. 6 shots in total. Needing 6s to hit. 1-6. It's going to be a 3-up save because they are obscured at the moment. So it's going to be a 3-up save for the Plague Marines. Made it. Oh, I didn't roll a green dice. That was silly. I should have rolled a green dice. But yes, now the charge distance. I know they're within range. Charge distance is 7 inches. Will get them to within an inch. So, get some green dice this time. 7 inches. Oh, they just make it with a 7-inch charge. Straight over there. Right, before I start with this combat, I need to mention one thing. This guy, the Blight Launcher guy here, he's got a Power Fist, but he can't actually take that Power Fist according to the data sheet, so he's not got a Power Fist. It's just the squad leader that's got a Power Fist and a Plague Sword. So I'll roll the 3 normal attacks first, and they are going to be hitting on 3s. Ooh, all hit, nice. They've all got Plague Knives though, so they'll re-rolled wound rolls of 1. They're going to be wounded on 4s, re-rolling 1s. Oh, there's a 1, and there's a 4. That's nice. Oh, not quite 2 wounds, so that's 1 wound. And it's going to be a 3-up save for the Space Marines. So it makes it. I thought he was going to fail it then for a second. And then it's on to the 2 attacks from the guy with the Power Fist. He's going to be hitting on 4s. Oh, 1 hit, 1 miss. He's going to be wounding on 2s. That is a wound. It's going to be a 6-up save for the Marine. He fails the save, and it's going to be D3 damage, but it's all going to go on this one guy, so let's just remove him. And that means the Intercessors, or the Marines rather, are down a model at the end of the first turn there. Where has my turn marker gone? So that was the end of the Plague Marines' turn, and it's pretty even after that first turn. 1 model off each side. You could argue that the Death Guard are slightly ahead here because they've taken 2 wounds off the Imperial Fist side. Just remembered, I completely forgot to attack back with the Imperial Fists here. So I'll do that now before moving on to turn 2. It's going to be 2 attacks for the normal guy and 3 attacks for the Sergeant. I'll just double check that's on this data sheet, but I'm pretty certain that's what it is. Yeah, it's 2 attacks for the regular guy, 3 attacks for the Sergeant. They don't have any close combat weapons. Any specialist ones anyway, so it's going to be 5 attacks in total. They're going to be hitting on 3s. That is oh no, that was a hit. There was the 4 hits in there in total, and they're going to be wounded on 5s. Get rid of them 2, and it's going to be 2 saving throws. 3-up saves for the Plague Marines. They make them. So, it didn't make any difference anyway. But I'll come back after Imperial Fist movement in turn 2. So, that's it after Imperial Fist movement in turn 2. The Intercessors have fallen back from combat. They're going to shoot into these guys to just give them a piece of their mind. And these guys have just moved into position here. They can't actually shoot at anyone. But what I'm thinking is, Lieutenant Gideon just moved up slightly as well. What I'm thinking is these 2 units, Gideon and the 3 Reavers, are all going to charge the Plague Marines and try and whittle those Plague Marines down, or at least tie them up and keep them away from the objective. And then these guys eventually will try and take on the Poxwalkers hidden behind the container there. So, yes, what I want to do first is shoot with these guys. It's rapid fire range, so it's 4 shots in total. Going to be hitting on 4s. That is 3 hits. They're hitting on 4s because they fell back from combat. So it's 3 hits. They're going to be wounded on 5s. Just drop one of my dice. Oh, no wounds there. That's absolutely terrible for the Imperial Fists. However, it's all part of the plan. So these guys now, let's measure how far this charge is. I do not know. I have not measured it. That is a 1, 2, 4 inch charge. We'll get them within an inch there. And then the other way, while I've got this in my hand, it's a little difficult. I'm going to have to put the camera down. I'll come back once I've measured that one. Here we go. I'll measure it live now for you. That is a 6 inch charge, whichever model he tries to get into base contact with. Although that one, no, actually I'd say that's more like a 5 inch charge. Yep, so 4 inches this way for the Reavers and 5 inches for Gideon. So, they can't see them, so they can't fire Overwatch. I'm going to charge with the Reavers first, 4 inches. They make that easily with 7 inch charge. Gideon needs a 5 inch charge. He just about makes it with that charge there into that guy. Now the Plague Marines are tied up over there, and the Poxwalkers are still hidden behind that container there. I wonder if they're going to do anything in this game. They could be the stars of the show if I work it perfectly. But it might be difficult to work perfectly. We'll see. Onto the combat. I'll do all the pilot moves and come back once I have started the combat. So it's pretty simple to start with. What I'm going to do is attack with Gideon first. So I'm going to attack with Gideon first. He gets 4 attacks and he's going to be hitting on 3s, or 2s rather. That is all hits. He's going to be wounding on 5s. That is 2 failed wounds, 2 wounds. And it's going to be a 6-up save for the Plague Marines because Gideon's sword is a -3 AP weapon. So it's going to be 6-up saves. Both failed. It's going to be disgusting resilient 5-ups for the Plague Marines. Oh, both failed. So that is 2 dead Plague Marines. Let's see which I'm going to remove. One's going to be the bolt gun guy. And the other is going to have to be one of the blight launcher guys. I'll take this guy out to avoid confusion with the power fist. So, now it's on to the Reavers. The attacks, the Reavers get 2 attacks as normal, and they get an extra attack for the combat knife. So that's 4 for the Sergeant, and it's going to be 3 for each of the regular Reavers. And they're going to be hitting on 3s. That is 1, 2 misses. Going to be wounding on 5s. That is. And they're going to reroll 1s because of tactical precision. But that's 1, 2 wounds to start and 2 1s there as well. So let's reroll those 2. Nope, they both fail anyway. So that's 2 wounds. It's going to be 3-up saves for the Plague Marines. 1 made, 1 failed. It's going to be a 5-up disgusting and resilient. Oh, that is a dead Plague Marine. It's an absolute nightmare for the Death Guard here. I'll take out the other Blight Launcher guy and see if the Sergeant of the Plague Marines can do anything in this combat before he gets wiped out in the next turn, probably. So, he's going to get 2 attacks himself, and he's going to put them... Should he try and take out 2 Reavers? Or, yeah, this game's all about number of models, isn't it? So what he's going to do is, rather than try and take out Gideon, he's going to try and take out 2 Reavers. So he's going to be hitting on 4s. Oh no, absolute disaster. Both hits fail, or both attacks fail. So, that is the end of that combat. And, yes, it could have gone better for the Death Guard, but there we go. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Now, on to Death Guard, turn 2 now. So I guess the Sergeant's going to try and attack back again. I should have made a piling move there at the end as well for the Reavers. Do I want to move the Poxwalkers yet, or do I want to leave them there? I think I'll leave them there for the time being. Although, if the Reavers decide to disengage from that combat, they could get to them quite easily. What I'm going to do is just move the Poxwalkers round here, so at the very least, the Reavers can't see them very easily. I'm not measuring it because I'm pretty certain I've done that quite well and kept them all under a 4-inch move. So, yep, the Sergeant is going to attack now. Does he have a pistol? I don't think he does. The Plague Champion may replace a bolt gun with a bolt pistol or a plasma gun. No, so the Plague Champion doesn't have a bolt pistol, unfortunately. So he can't make a shooting attack, but he does go straight in with his Power Fist, again on the Reavers, to try and make a successful attack roll here. So he needs force to hit. He gets 1 hit at least, that's slightly better. And he needs 2 to wound. Just wounds, that would have been disappointing if he didn't wound. It's a 3-up save for the Reavers. Oh no, what am I doing here with 2 dice? 3-up save for the Reavers. Oh, it's not a 3-up save. Well, he rolled a 1 anyway, it doesn't matter. It would have been a 6-up save. And it's D3 damage for the Power Fist. There we go. 2 damage on the Power Fist, meaning one of the Imperial Fist Reavers is now taken out. I'll take out this guy. And it's on to the returning attacks for the Reavers. So the Reavers, the Sergeant's still there. So it's going to be 7 attacks in total. Going to be hitting on 3s. That is 2 misses. They're going to be wounding on 5s. One wound, no rerolls for the tactical precision this time. And it's going to be a 3-up save. Fails it. It's going to be a 5-up disgustingly resilient. Fails it. This is, the saving throws in this game have been atrocious. That is a dead Plague Marine. The Plague Marines are wiped out, but it's all up to the Poxwalkers in this mission. It is all up to the Poxwalkers for the Death Guard to win this mission. It's not looking good for the Death Guard. That is the end of Death Guard turn 2. So it's on to Imperial Fists turn 3 now. So turn 3 Imperial Fist movement looks like this. The Intercessors move from over here to here. They can draw line of sight just about to the Poxwalkers there. The Reavers over that side move from over here where the combat was to here. Just remembered I could have consolidated after that combat as well, but I forgot, so let's leave it at that. And the Lieutenant Gideon stepped up onto the container. Now, there's no Stormbolters modelled onto these containers because I left them off. However, there are Stormbolters in this mission on the containers. So, he can control the Stormbolter if he's within 1 inch of it, and the Stormbolter would be just here, just next to the objective marker where this hole is. So he's going to have control of the Stormbolter. He can't see the Poxwalkers at the minute, so it doesn't matter. But if the Poxwalkers want to charge him, he's going to get 4 shots, basically, to try and take out as many Poxwalkers as possible with Overwatch. However, back to the matter at hand. The Reavers are going to chuck a grenade, a frag grenade, into the Poxwalkers. And they are going to get this many hits. They're going to get D6 hits. 2 hits. They're going to be hitting on 3s. 1 hit. Or 2 shots, they're going to be hitting on 3s. 1 hit. And it's going to be 4s to wound. Fails to wound, so should have shot with the pistols instead. However, there is one more Reaver, and he's going to shoot with his pistol. He's going to hit on 3s. He hits. He's going to wound on 3s. He wounds. It's going to be a 5-up. Actually, they're all obscured by the container from the point of view of the Reavers. So, it's going to be a saving throw for a Poxwalker. What a novel experience this will be. They have a 7+ save, the cover gives them a +1 to the save, so they now have a 6-up save. Fails it, but they do have a disgusting and resilient as well. Oh, fails it. The saving throws on the Death Guard side this time round have been atrocious. Let's get rid of this guy, the pale fella, pinky fella. Now the intercessors can draw line of sight to those guys at the end there, but they are still obscured, and the intercessors are going to shoot. Rapid fire bolt rifles hitting on 3s. Good shooting, wounding on 3s. Fails with 3. It's going to be a 6-up save. Oh, thinking about it, they don't actually get a save because there's a -1 to the saving throw anyway because of the AP value of the weapons that the Primaris Marines have. So it's not a 6-up save. There's no 6-up save. I've been lying about that. It is a 7-up save, which I can't make, and it's going to be a disgusting and resilient roll here. Fails it, so that is another dead Poxwalker. Oh, that's not good for the Poxwalkers because I was hoping they could keep at least 10 alive, and then they'd be hitting on 3s or 4s in combat rather than on 5s. However, it's not to be. I'm gonna what should I do here? I think I'm going to try and pin the Poxwalkers there with the Imperial Fists. So I'll measure distance to charge, and then I will charge with the Reavers at the very least. So I've measured it out, and the Reavers need a 4-inch charge. The Intercessors are in range to charge as well. They need a 8-inch charge. So the Reavers need 4 inches. Oh, they make it with 6, and the Intercessors need 8 inches. They make it with 9. Unbelievable. So there we go. I'll move them into combat, and then I'll come back once they start fighting. So onto the combat phase now. You'll notice that I've split the Poxwalkers. Now they are still within unit coherency, just within 2 inches of each other, but I've pushed most of them over to that side on the basis that then the Intercessors will only be able to attack these 2 guys, and these guys can hopefully take out at least 1 of the Reavers, but we'll see. So I'm going to attack with the Reavers first, I suppose, and it's going to be 7 attacks from them. They're going to be hitting on 3s. That is all but 1, all but 2 hit. They are going to be wounding on 3s as well. That is 1 fail to wound, so that's 4 wounds. It's going to be 4 disgusting and resilient rolls for the Poxwalkers. 1 made. Finally, we've made a disgusting and resilient. So that's 3 dead Poxwalkers. Let's take some out. So I've taken out the Poxwalkers here. The first thing that these guys will have to do, I think, in their turn is maintain unit coherency. So if they survive against the Intercessors, they'll have to fall back, and then they'll be out of base contact with the Intercessors, meaning they're no longer in combat. But I'll get to that. I'll cross that bridge if and when I come to it. For the time being, though, it's 3 attacks from the Sergeant and 2 attacks from the regular Intercessor. He's going to be hitting on 3s, or they are rather. They all hit. So I very much doubt the 2 Poxwalkers are going to survive, but they're going to be wounding on 3s as well. Oh, 3 fail to wound. But that's 2 wounds. And it's going to be 2 disgusting and resilience. Both failed, so that's 2 dead Poxwalkers. Unfortunate for the Poxwalkers. And these guys can they can pile in, make another piling move. Thinking about it, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, they can make another piling move, and then they have actually managed to encircle them almost. The Poxwalkers could still get out this way, but when we tighten up that piling move, I very much doubt they can actually get out anywhere. It's onto the Poxwalkers attacking back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 10 attacks from the Poxwalkers, all going on to the Reavers. So 10 attacks onto the Reavers. Going to be hitting on 5s. 1, 2 hits, just 2 hits. Oh, that's a cocked dice there. Let's see if we can get another one here. Nope, we can't. So we're going to be wounding on 5s. failed to wound. Unfortunate, but predictable, unfortunately. So that's the end of the Death Guard. No, that's the end of the Imperial Fists turn 3. It's on to Death Guard turn 3, I suppose, isn't it? I've just been attempting to work out whether or not the Poxwalkers could fall back from this. I was thinking some of them could go up there, some of them could go around there and then maintain unit coherency in that way. But there's no way they can all get out of engagement range and still maintain coherency. So they're going to have to sort of weather this combat if they can. And it's going to be 10 attacks from the Poxwalkers again. They're all going to go onto the Reavers again and see what I can do. Probably not a lot, but who knows? Maybe the God of Plagues will be with me and he'll give me 10 5s and 6s. We'll see. Ooh, no, he only gives me 1 6, unfortunately. So it's 1 6. He's going to be wounded on 5s. Fails to wound. It's back to the Imperial Fists in combat. The Reavers going to get 7 attacks. They're going to be hitting. Shove these dice over here. Going to be hitting on 3s. That is much better than the Death Guard could muster. They're going to be wounding on 3s as well. Oh, there's 3 failed wounds. And it's going to be 3 5-up saves for Disgustingly Resilient. Oh, that's a 5. And 2 2s. So that is 2 dead Poxwalkers now. Yeah, I'll take out those 2. And then it's on to the Intercessor's attacks. It's going to be 3 for the Sergeant again. And 2 for the regular guy. It's going to be hitting on 3s. That is 1, 2, 3 hits. It's going to be wounding on 3s as well. That is 2 wounds. It's going to be 2 Disgustingly Resilient saves this time. Both failed. So it's another 2 dead Poxwalkers. It's on to Imperial Fist turn 4 now. And it's not looking good at all for the Death Guard. Right, Imperial Fist turn 4. I'm going to fall back with the Imperial Fists. I will fall back. Oh no, I'll fall back this way. And I'll fall back this way. So they've fallen back. And they're going to take some shots now. The Reavers will chuck a grenade, because why the devil not? It's going to be D6 shots. 5 shots. It's going to be hitting on 3s. That is all but 1 hit. It's going to be wounding on 4s. That is 2 wounds. So it's 2 5-up saves for the Poxwalker. Let's roll them one at a time. Fails it. So that is a dead Poxwalker. Turn 4. The Imperial Fists have it, having wiped out the Death Guard. So it's another Imperial Fist victory. So that was tutorial replay mission 12 for you. Seize the ammunition. It was an Imperial Fist victory again, and the first time I played it, believe it or not, it was a whitewash for the Death Guard. I was really surprised with how it went this time when I filmed it. So yeah, I think it was a combination of things. In the first time I played it before filming, I made a few bad decisions with the Imperial Fists. I figured I'd send the Reavers to get to the objective first, thinking it's all about getting to the objective, so I'll send the Reavers to get to the objective first. Got them to the objective, and they were in an exposed position. So then the Plague Marines just moved up the battlefield slightly and shot 2 of the Reavers, killed 2 of the Reavers with shooting. And then I sort of panicked. I was sending Gideon after the Poxwalkers by himself. So I sort of panicked and thought, right, well, I'll send... I think I ended up sending Gideon and the Reaver Sergeant to the Poxwalkers. And then the Poxwalkers killed the Reaver Sergeant as well. And then Gideon was tied up for a number of turns because the Poxwalkers managed to swarm Gideon after that. And the Intercessors were slowly picked off bit by bit by the Plague Marines. And the Plague Marines in the first mission that I played, they didn't lose a man. Every saving throw they made was, I think they failed one saving throw and made it disgustingly resilient, and that was against all the shooting that the intercessors were throwing at them. And in this mission, this time, the one that I filmed, of course, the saving throws for the Death Guard side was atrocious. They were atrocious. They weren't making any saves. That was a big part of the problem this time round. The first one went to turn 5, I think, before eventually the Plague Marines took out Gideon with shooting, because the Poxwalkers, I fell back with them, and it was kind of like a last-ditch attempt to try and get the Plague Marines off of the objective, and in trying to get to them, they shot him apart. However, yeah, this mission, it went completely differently. Gideon got to the objective, just sat on the objective, and once the Plague Marines were taken out, it was always going to be difficult. It's unfortunate that I didn't film the first one, because I really enjoyed the first one. I was really surprised by how well the Death Guard performed, but like I said, it was a couple of tactically poor choices on my part with the Imperial Fists that gave the Death Guard certain openings, and I feel like sometimes that's what you have to do with as the Death Guard player. You have to wait for your opponent to make a mistake and then seize that opportunity, and if your dice aren't rolling hot for you, then you're going to struggle. But yeah, it's one of those things. Sometimes it's up to the dice, and it doesn't seem fair when it's like that. It seems like you should tactically be able to outmaneuver your opponent, and if you're thinking superior and everything, you should ultimately be victorious. However, it doesn't work like that, because the dice aren't always with you. It's a dice-based game. It's one of those things, and I think through these missions that I've filmed, we're on tutorial mission 12 now. Since about tutorial mission 5 or something, the Death Guard have been rolling really poorly. It could be something to do with the fact that I rolled the green dice for the Death Guard and the pearlescent dice for the Imperial Fist. It could be that the pearlescent dice are more prone to high numbers and the green dice are more prone to low numbers, but I'm not too sure. I could check the weight of my dice using like salt water. I've seen people do that before, but I'm not that bothered, to be honest. At the end of the day, it's just a fun tutorial mission. It's more about learning the rules of the game more thoroughly. We've got a new edition coming out soon as well, so I won't get to the end of these tutorial missions before the new edition of the game comes out. Well, I doubt it anyway. I imagine the new edition of the game's coming out within 4 weeks, and I've got at least 8 tutorial missions left, because I think there's 20 tutorial missions, and you go on to the missions proper. However, I think I'll continue to film them, and then once the tutorial missions are done, I'll go on to the missions proper, but adapt them for 9th edition, more than likely. But we'll have to see how that goes. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this mission, and it's a real shame that I didn't film that the first run through of the mission that I did, because the Death Guard was superb in it, and the Imperial Fist, just one little mistake at the start, choosing to go to the objective with the Reavers, just led to all hell breaking loose. However, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I'll leave it there for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoyed filming it, and I especially enjoyed playing the mission twice, and was surprised the second time that the Death Guard performed so poorly. Before you go, don't forget to give the video a like if you've enjoyed it. Any questions you've got, you can ask in the comments below. There's a button here for you to subscribe if you've not already done so, and a Patreon link here if you'd like to support the channel. There's also a couple of videos here for you to check out at your leisure. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the battlefield.